Millions of different types of mother planes, flew by millions of different types of beings, right? But we who have our own mother planes, right? We have the Grand Mothership Nibiru, right? Which is 63,408 miles in diameter. It's about 9 times the size of Earth, right? And inside of her belly, she carries about 2,880 shams. A sham is the crown-shaped passenger crabs that come from inside of the Grand Mothership Nibiru, right? It also can hold 24 crystal cities. It also carries 10 warships and has space for thousands of other different ships because there are different types of creatures on Nibiru and they all have their own types of ships. So they have places where they can park their ships at. This is the Grand Mothership Nibiru, right? We also have the mothership Destiny Fleet, right? Which is a half a mile long and 1/4 of a mile wide at its rear point, right? And it comes equipped with 4 shuttles, right? The older ones with 2, the newer ones with 4. We also have the Atlantis mothership fleet, right? And Atlantis is 492 stories tall, brothers and sisters. The tallest building on there, which is the center point, is almost 1 mile high. And it is 2 1/3 mile wide, right? Designed like a snowflake, right? And then we have the Crystal City, right? Which we told you that comes off of the Grand Mothership Nibiru, right? And like I say, it's 24 of these are on board of the Grand Mothership Nibiru, right? The Crystal City sits above the North Pole, right? The center sun, which is 600 miles in diameter, shoots its rays at the top of the North Pole, and where the Crystal City is sitting there in the 4th dimension, right? About 144,000 miles above Earth, right? At 23 degrees at the North Pole in the 4th dimension. This Crystal City is like a prism which breaks down light and stores it and uses it as energy. Crystal City is mentioned by the prophet John in Revelations 21, where they give you the descriptions and dimensions of it, right? It's about 1,500 square miles in diameter, having 12 gates, 3 on each side, made of solid pearl, having 12 different floors on it, right? Streets of gold, milk and honey. Go read it, Revelation 21, right? So that is another mothership that is stationed here, right? And it also has 4 baby planes on the Crystal City, which guard the Crystal City. These 4 planes come out of Crystal City and they guard and they don't sleep day or night. They guard Crystal City 24/7. So devil, you can never get up there and try to attack it. And if you try attacking it, it's a wrap for you, right? So that's another mothership. But tonight we're here to talk to you about the Will, which is the mother plane that Elijah Muhammad, praises be unto him, mentions and writes about. We're about to get into that. In 1928, we who are the elves who hover called for a meeting. And in this meeting, we discuss of how one day the devil will gain access to a certain amount of technology that could possibly put the world and our seed at risk. So we wrote a will. The will is to protect the seed of God Almighty and the planet and the inhabitants. And in this will was the order to send telepathic messages to scientists of the original man around the world to design different parts for this will. Each scientist designing an individual part under telepathic guidance of one of the elders. Then they were told to package the parts up and mail them to Nepal, which is now being called Japan, where they were assembled. And in 1929, the wheel took flight. This plane called the wheel, also referred to as the mother plane by Elijah Muhammad, all praises be unto him, was designed after one of the baby planes which comes off of the Crystal City. Because we told you that Crystal City has 4 baby planes that guard it. So what we did is to make a replica, a smaller version of the 4 baby plane called the Will to end this wicked world when the time comes. So each scientist designing their own part being telepathically guided, afterwards not knowing what they were even designing, mailing the parts to Japan where the parts were assembled, right? Where the ship is a wheel in the middle of a wheel, made of the finest steel, composites that man would never be able to figure out, right? Because we allowed you to have a few of our baby planes, the ones that we changed out, right? To let you take a peek at them, right? To see how far that we ahead of you, right? And you say that the steel on them was thinner than fall. You took a blowtorch to it. You took a diamond cutter to it. You took a sludge hammer to it. And you couldn't even make a dent in it. So they show you that you ain't got no power and no might to fight against us. So the baby planes are made out of one mold of the finest of this special type of steel that we compose using elements from your planet and from the center of your planet, which you know nothing about, right? To outmarch you. The mother plane was assembled as two molds and the baby planes as one mold. They were hydro-fused together, right? And we ain't gonna tell you how we did it. So in 1929, the wheel took place and it was up there, not bothering nobody. The messenger teaches us that the wheel is a half a mile by half a mile, 1,320 feet in diameter, right? And 8,289 feet in circumference, both ways. Inside of the wheel, they have 320 acres of space, and they can double that space to 640 acres at will. It looks like a giant walnut or a burger that's spinning. The ring around the outside spinning clockwise and the centerpiece spinning counterclockwise. Its shape is oval. It's made of a spear shape like the universe. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad calls it a masterpiece of mechanic engineering. Nothing like this has ever been seen before, right? Elijah Muhammad said the wheel was made for the purpose of the final battle of this wicked world, the forces of evil that rule this world to be uprooted. This wheel is to uproot them. He said it took what would be equivalent to $15 billion in gold back in that time to build it. The messenger teaches that the wheel has a dual nature, one which is life-giving and one which brings absolute death and destruction and mayhem for suckers who want to try to step and fight God. Actually, the wheel serves as a carrier, right, for 1,500 baby bombing planes. The baby planes are 26 feet wide and 15 feet tall. The wheel acts as a beehive, right, which has worker bees that live on the inside and come out if you try to attack the wheel. We who are knew one day that the wicked would develop technology and weapons. The wicked has power now to destroy the earth. So to mark the end of their rule, we set the wheel in motion to prevent them from destroying the original seed and the planet. People who seen the wheel. When I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico in 2010, I seen the wheel, right, haul up about between 65 and 68,000 feet with a black hose roll out from the bottom of it, right? I can spot the wheel pretty much anywhere. I know it's up there. So I know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was riding his act, right? On November 17, 1986, a well-trained Japanese pilot seen the wheel. He was flying on a Japanese airline flight 1628 en route from Paris to Alaska, right? The pilot said that it was the size of 2 aircraft carriers. He said the smaller planes came off the bigger planes. Then he described how they fly. He said the things were flying as if there was no such thing as gravity. It sped up, then stopped, flew our speed in our direction. So to us, it appeared to be standing still. The next instant, it changed course. In other words, the flying object had overcome gravity. This is what the Japanese pilot said. He said that they were flying over 600 miles an hour. One of the baby planes was parked in front of them, about 20 feet, matching their speed. Then it'll dart off in front of them and dart back as if it was standing still in front of them, right? So this Japanese pilot drew pictures of it, of how it looked, right? And he was later on, labeled as a nutcase and put into the crazy house. Neil Armstrong went up and seen it. And he said he heard a humming sound coming from it, right? So astronauts been going up, seeing it up there, right? Ronald Reagan knew that it was up there, right? When he was governor of California, he seen it. Okay? Which is why in the 80s when he became president, he started Star Wars, try to come up with weapons, try to come up with a plan to attack the wheel. Ezekiel in the Bible, chapter 1, seen the wheel, seen it in a vision, right? Ezekiel seen a vision of it, that this wheel was coming. On February 25th, 1942, which is called the Battle of Los Angeles, one of the baby planes hovered over one of their bases near Los Angeles, and the government spent 2 hours shooting at it, trying to knock it down. They couldn't even graze it, right? The government knew nothing about these wheels, but they had heard of a little fella with a 3rd grade education by the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was talking about these wheels. So Franklin D. Roosevelt, on May 5th, 1942, issued an executive order for the arrest of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and ordered the FBI to raid all his establishments and confiscate any document and rights that he got about the wheel. Right? So you thinking that Elijah Muhammad's crazy, Elijah Muhammad making stuff up, but the government don't think he making it up, right? Because the president ordered for executive order of Elijah Muhammad to come in and so they can interview him and question him, right? And interrogate him about the wheel. So it don't matter what you talking about, the government know what it is, and the government know Elijah Muhammad knew what he was talking about, right? In 1952, in January 12th, 1952, baby planes stormed D.C. to show their strength and show their might. So the government knows that it's up there. They've been seeing it. They put plenty of satellites up to try to monitor it. And like Elijah Muhammad said, when they questioned him, the devil said they know it's up there. They just can't get to it. They just can't get to it. The mother plane maintains a distance of 40 miles above the Earth's atmosphere. The mother plane is capable also of traveling to other galaxies. The mother plane can stay up for long periods of time. Every 6 months to a year, the mother plane comes into the Earth's atmosphere to draw in hydrogen for fuel and oxygen for breathing aboard the ship. The hydrogen and oxygen is also molecules or chemicalized into water. When it does this, every 6 months, the mother plane comes into the Earth's atmosphere and hovers about 68,000 feet and rolls out a black tube from the bottom, which is in between 40 feet to 2 miles long. It sucks in gas that it needs, and then it retakes its position at 40 miles outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Most of the time when it comes into Earth's atmosphere, it uses the cloaking device. A cloaking device, right, is stealth technology, which your government tries to utilize on their F-17s, their B-2 stealth bombers, right? They try to clone some of this technology, but they were not able to become completely invisible like our baby plane or our mothership, right? So the stealth technology of the cloaking device, right, causing objects such as spaceships or individuals to be partially or wholly invisible to part of the electromagnetic spectrum, right? This is a system used to bend light around objects, right? Sometimes they let people see them, but it is also capable of eluding scientists, right? So where they can't see them. They want to attack and destroy it. But if a plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it would be destroyed instantly. The wheel can also go under the ocean because it has its own atmosphere around it and a force field around it. The wheel also can travel through the sun and recharge from pin-sized solar panels located at the bottom and the top, right? So we're getting into it. Now we're going to get into the pilots and the system of the wheel. The wheel has a complex system. It has 2 control stations. The main control station has 2 interface chairs, one for the main pilot and one for the co-pilot. The interface chair can perform a variety of different functions, right? Some such as transferring the mother plane's database into the pilot's mind, which is already programmed by us, right? It knows where every military base on the planet is. It's stored in the database of the wheel, right? The interface chair allows control of the mother plane system via mind control, via mental command. This means when the pilot think it, the ship do it. This access is locked via genetical code. Only the original seed can unlock these codes, right? Which is why in Independence Day, they needed Will Smith to fly the baby plane. He was the only one they could fly. The mother wheel has 4 modes, and the baby planes have these same modes. The mother wheel and the baby planes have 4 modes of power and 3 levels of speed, right? The low level of speed is 0 to 9,000 miles per hour. The medium speed is 0 to 9,000 miles per second. And the high level speed is faster than the speed of light, which is 186,282 miles per second. So the ships is capable of doing these speeds. The Earth planes is no match for the baby planes or the wheel at its low speed. The ship created its own force field and can make a turn in any direction without coming to a complete stop. It can go to, fro, up and down at any speed, right? This ship is so fast that they can leave China, come to America, drop a bomb, and be back in China drinking a cup of coffee before the bomb even hit the ground. It has 4 anti-gravity engines which work off magnetic energy. The baby wheels have 3 engines. The mother wheel also can draw energy from the sun, like we told you, right? And once a year, she flies through the sun to recharge her energy, right? It also can use hydrogen for fuel, which we told you too. So it has 4 different types of source of energy: solar, magnetic, gravity, and chemical form of energy that it utilizes. The pilots are gray aliens from Zados Reticuli, which is 37.5 light years away. They only grow to about around 4 to 5 feet tall, right? We talked about the grays on the class on the grades part 1. Go get that class if you ain't got that class yet, right? They have grayish like plastic like type rubbery type skin. They are extremely intelligent and telepathic. They have been trained all their life for this great battle. These particular grades here on this ship, which are beings from the Creel bunch, right? These particular beings have been trained all their life just for this one battle in the sky. They can hit any target on Earth blindfolded, which the devil will soon see. The small planes have the same controls as the mother plane, and the small planes can be controlled from the mother plane, okay? Robotically, or they can be piloted from the mother plane by the main pilot. So the main pilot can sit in the interface chair in the main mother wheel and control all 1,500 bombing planes from that one chair without having the pilot in it. And they got pilots, right, which make the best pilots in the world look like they can't even fly a plane, right? The mother wheel has cameras on it that can zoom in to an ant on the ground from 40 miles outside of the Earth atmosphere. They have a night vision system called daylight, which make it look like it's day during the nighttime, right? So they can change to day or night based on the equipment they got on the wheel. It also has X-ray vision that can X-ray to over 700 miles into the crust of Earth. So it knows where all your establishments at. It knows where all the bases is at. The wheel is equipped with holographic equipment, right? It can make 7 copies of itself so the enemy won't know which one to attack. The well-trained crew of the mother wheel can dodge enemies and make them look for the wheel where the wheel is not. As the word go, the crew of the wheel can elude the enemy anywhere in the sky that the crew desires to elude them. When actual fighting has been declared against the enemy of the wicked of this planet, the enemy will never get near enough to do any harm to the wheel. Alright, let's get into the weapon systems of the wheel. This wheel is no joke. It has a 5-mile magnetic shield orb around it. The magnets get stronger as you get closer to it. The mother wheel has a 50-mile laser flamethrower weapon that is 100% accuracy. The baby wheels have laser flamethrower weapons that can reach to 12 miles with 100% accuracy. The mother wheel and baby planes have high-pitched sound weapons that can cause buildings to explode and crumble like a cookie. The mother wheel can create a force field around any city or any country and block them in so nothing can get in or nothing can get out. So enclose them in a force field. And then it can cause a shortage in gravity. And then set a fire the argon molecules in your air about 12 miles high, right? And float everything up and burn it like a fire, right? It says, right? Behold the day they coming when it burning like an oven. The mother wheel and baby wheels also have EMP-style weapons to disable the wicked weapons before they even knew what hit them. The baby planes each come equipped with 3 thermonuclear drill bombs. The type of bomb that when it strikes the earth, a drill on it is timed to go into the earth crust and explode at the height that you wish the mountain to be. So it has the finest type of steel on the end of these bombs, these drills on the end of these bombs, right? These thermonuclear drill bombs, right? That weigh over 3 tons. These 3-ton thermonuclear drill bomb, right? With this drill on the front that can be timed to drill down into the earth 1 mile and then explode and bring up a mountain 1 mile high. It can be timed to drill down 2 miles and then explode and bring up a mountain 2 miles high. If you take a firecracker, like I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say, if you take a firecracker and you put it in the ground, right, and you explode it, if you take it and put it 1 inch in the ground and you explode it, you will bring up a mound 1 inch high. If you take it and put it 2 inches in the ground, you'll bring up a mound 2 inches high. This is the same way that we design the mountains on this planet to balance the planet out, because you had a smooth ride at 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. So the pyramids and the mountains are like weights on a tire. You see what I'm saying? So these bombs is able to hit, drill down, and explode, bring up a mountain however high you want it. And then whatever is left living, as the messenger teach, there's a poisonous gas that is emitted from the bomb to snuff out the rest of the people. Right? To snuff out rats, cats, dogs, roaches, whatever's moving and living. This poisonous gas is to snuff them out within a 50-mile radius, right? And these bombs are carried by these baby planes, right? Also, when over the ocean, the wheel can create a 1,000-foot wave to heap up and smash down on your ship to break it up like matchbox pump. It also has an air pressure weapon that it can direct air pressure at your aircraft to cause the wings to break off. Then it's coming on down, back to the ground. It also has the power to create tornadoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, right? And it also has the power to disintegrate things. It is said that the wheel once came down and disintegrated a B-2 bomber right out of the sky because they had told them, don't fire no more weapons. Don't launch no more bombs. After 1945, they were told not to do no more weapons. And they kept secretly trying to test weapons to where we came back again and told them they better not test no more weapons. Right? Or we're going to shoot it down. Don't shoot no more rockets. Don't test no more weapons. Or we're going to shoot it down. So we have let you get a few of our baby planes to take a peek at them. To show you that you're no match. That your brain can't even comprehend the science of our crafts. Because you only have one book of mathematics. And there are 59,999 more books that you don't even know about. Right? So your day is finished. And as the messenger teach, in the last days, the baby planes will fly over and drop leaflets written in every single language stating you have 24 hours to get out of America. You have 24 hours to get out of Mystery Babylon. Then after that, the end commences. And in closing remarks, we want to send a shout out to Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. May Allah bless them tenfold and peace be with all the descendants of the Nation of Islam. We love you all. This is Also Ice the Young Elder signing out. And we're going to win this war. Why? Because we can dance and they can't.